All right, are we on? Are we live? Is the mic working? The broadcaster was stuck for a minute. I couldn't do nothing. And then the stream would not catch up to YouTube. So anyway, I don't know how that intro went there. All right, we got so much news to get into on a hump day. Anyway, let's jump right in because we got so much stuff to cover. It's like overwhelming. Quake out by here today too, or yesterday, or somewhere like that. All these links will be put in the description after we get going here. For some reason, I have a hard time getting the stream off when I put the links in first. Nice. We're already buffering. How can we be buffering already? Anyway, Hawaii warns tourists of a parasite worm that can burrow into the human brain. Health Department reports 3 more cases in people who visited the Hawaiian Islands. So Hawaii's health department has released fresh warnings about a parasitic worm that can infest human brains after officials confirmed that 3 more visitors to the state picked up infections. There were 17 confirmed cases in 2017. In 2018, there was 10. So far, total of 5 this year. So, wow. Anyway, that looks pretty damn nasty. Looks like it could be some kind of Morgellons or something. I don't know. All right, we had another airplane that caused snow to develop near Chicago. We've seen this on the radar. This has happened, oh wow, this is November 28th. This is the same one. Why did they play it again? All right, well, maybe this is a new one. Let me look here. This might be that one we already covered. Yeah, we already covered this one. I don't know how that got on there. All right, so Qatar Airways plane creates an amazing rainbow contrail in the skies that flies over Germany. To me, this is a toxic chemtrail. Look at that. So they say Qatar Airplanes was caught brightening up the skies with a spectacular rainbow trail from its wings. You mean the spray nozzles right there on the wings? So they said this, he was 26,000 feet up. Incredible multicolored clouds as it flies over Bamberg, Germany. You know, they're just going to keep on making stuff up. You know, and of course they start getting here. It says right here, it is just awesome that 600 tons of aluminum can fly that high above you. He don't know, I guess he don't really realize the aluminum's not just the plane, it's coming out of the trails. That one looks like it's got lithium, barium, strontium, aluminum. And of course, over the whole article, you know, they're going to say how this colorful contrail was created. The condensation trail was formed by water vapor, begins to condense and freeze. The gases emitted from the aircraft include carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, methane, sulfate, soot, and metal particles. What kind of metal particles? Oh, well, aluminum, barium, strontium, you know, all the normal things that create the clouds. So this is just another toxic flume going out there. You know, that the planes are what create the cirrus clouds. They're just chemtrails. That's what they are. We're going to call them what they are. India, or deadly heat wave in India. Temperatures reach 123 degrees in second driest pre-monsoon spell in 65 years. So they're having their second driest pre-monsoon. They actually reached a high of 123.4 degrees Saturday. Many locations topped 115 degrees. You know why they're not getting no rain? Because they stole the atmospheric river. It's going to be going up into China. China and India don't get along. So they're going to be, China and Russia are stealing the atmospheric river, bypassing India, going up into the desert of China. Just like they did over in the West Coast, just like they did down in Tasmania, Australia, and other places. Feds declare emergency as gray whale deaths reach highest level in nearly 20 years. And this is caused by the bunker fuel. It's every single time. Or any kind of animals, you know, it's either sonar, Navy blasting out sonar waves, or it's the bunker fuel. I guess it could be earthquakes. We already know who's the cause of this. It's not climate change. That's what they're going to say. We know what's causing it. We know the truth. So here's pretty crazy, man. This back in 1993, we had some mega floods here in Missouri, which we've already passed that. But what happened is this cemetery. What was the name of the cemetery? Hardin Cemetery. Well, thousands of bodies washed away from the cemetery. And now they're worried that it's happened again. So more than 1,000 bodies washed away decades prior in the Great Flood of 93. A main levee has broken between Hardin and Norborn. This is causing water to back up in our direction. The city warned on Facebook Sunday, water is covering J Highway. This could affect people in the south, low-lying into town. Be prepared. I'm still wanting to know where all the people are. Where's all the people staying from these floods? Are they on a FEMA barge? I don't know. Where's the locations where you can go help them? Don't donate to the Red Cross. Go right to the people. They got to be staying somewhere, and hand them cash. Grant County residents flee fast-growing wildfire. You know, we've seen the aerosols up there in Oregon and Washington, the last few days, and they had that big-ass fire. Several hundred residents of Grant County were advised to evacuate Tuesday because of a fast-moving wildfire that started late Monday evening and grew to more than 5,000 acres by noon the next day. Whipped by wind, fueled by dry grass and sage, the fire on the east side of the Columbia River grew 1,000 acres in just a few hours. Yeah, we caught all that on the worldview map. And we've seen that they definitely aerosolized the sky beforehand. Now it's raining. They called this a mandatory level 3 evacuation notices, which means leave immediately. We're coming to take your house and your guns. All right. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it seems like everything's running in the green. Alabama lawmakers pass a bill requiring chemical castration of child molesters. Wonder if all these politicians and pedogate people are going to be being chemically castrated. I don't know. I'll leave the link. Okay, also out in New York, schools will be tracked by facial recognition starting this week. So the kids in the New York schools are tracked by the facial recognition system starting this week, citing the ability to scan for sexual predators. New York School Board approved the new biometric profiling of students. They're profiling them. Man, that's ridiculous. I'd pull my kids out of school so fast. Luckily, they're all awake and they already know about all this. Okay, out in Londoners, baffled as black hole clouds appear above the Capitol. This is where they were spraying that super heavy spray that we were showing you. This is what happened with the aerosols. The unusual cloud formation has been spotted in over London this morning about 8:30 a.m. after Londoners had enjoyed sizzling temperatures the day before. The photo showed huge dents in the clouds, which witnesses describing as looking like peaks of wet Mary. I don't even know what that is. Another viewer who spied the cloud formation over Thornton said it was creepy. The clouds look like a black hole. They don't look like a black hole to me. They look like so heavy aerosols they're hanging down. And what they're trying to call these are they look like the apparatus clouds, which they look way different, or kind of like that, but you know, who knows? They do so much stuff to our skies, it's hard to tell anymore. All right, so they closed the Missouri River shipping from St. Louis to Kansas City. And the river's supposed to peak tomorrow on D-Day. So there's nothing, no grains being shipped, no kinds of anything going from St. Louis to Kansas City. 43 levees have been broken or overtopped in Missouri. 2 of the levees were intentionally breached to prevent further damage. Missouri has more than 300 levees, federal and non-federal and otherwise. Did anybody hear that they purposely breached the levees? No. So you have to go digging for this. The mainstream don't tell you this stuff. You got to go find it. As the river's crest in Carrollton, flooding forces 350 people to evacuate their homes. See, they're still going on. They're saying these floods are going to last for all year, all summer. And here they are referring back to the 1993 flood. We're past that. So more homes being evacuated. Where's these people going? Where are they supposed to go? Where's the information on that? That's what I want to know. Greenland glacier reverses course. Scientists stunned. Now, I'm not going to play this article. It's not even an article. I guess it's just a video. Here, I guess we try playing it. Oh, it's running backwards. That's what it is. It's got to be the magnetic pole shift. Or is it growing? It's growing. So even though they keep saying that the ice sheets are shrinking, they're still growing in the Antarctic, and apparently they're growing in Greenland. Talking out of 2 sides of their puppet face. And here we go. Mysterious methane gas fueling fire-breathing mountain found in 20-plus countries. Remember the high methane emissions that we talked about yesterday? All the volcanic activity, all the fracking, all the methane gas coming up out of the fracking. And, you know, the cruise liner ships that put out, you know, 1 million cars worth of emissions, the boat tracks. And now we have like natural, but yet it's our fault. More nonsense. So the Truman Lake, they did open it up today. It's dropped a little bit, not a whole lot, but it's dropping. So everybody downstream, here comes the water. They had to open it up, and now it's flying through there. Almost all the boat ramps are closed on our lake. Maybe one is open. and they still had the damn road closed. But you can get over here on the back side. If I get to go by that way tomorrow, I will go. See, it was only a foot or two from going over. This is up from the visitor center. And yeah, it was maxed out, man. Rivers are still running backwards here. Here's some more pictures of the flooding here in Missouri. I think this is Missouri, or is this Arkansas? Oh, this is Oklahoma. So people are still having to canoe around. I haven't looked at these. I'll leave the links so if you guys want to check them out. So the Truman Lake here where I live reached the record pool level, recreation impacted. So they're currently releasing 40,000 cubic feet per second from the third charge pearl. This is an anticipated release and will be increased as space becomes available downstream. And it's going on everywhere, man. It's going on from South Dakota all the way down to the coast, multiple cities and countries. And this is going to be, man, people, I don't think people realize this flood is not just going to be about the floods. It's not just about the tornadoes. It's about after the floods. It's about the crops. It's about the diseases that's going to come. It's about everything. So we'll see what happens tomorrow when the Missouri River crests all the way up. How's this going to go till we get this more rain? So water releases from the Gavis Point Dam to remain high, likely for the rest of the year. Water releases from Gavis Point Dam remain at 75,000 cubic feet per second for some time, perhaps the remainder of the year. The runoff forecast is now for 2019 is 50 million acre feet. That'd be the second highest runoff on record over 121 years. Second only to 2011, man. We're inundated with water. The Coast Guard has closed 380 miles of the Missouri River amid flooding. I didn't even know the Coast Guard ran the rivers. The volume's way down. It should be good. You know, I think that's actually YouTube that's messing with the volume. Because I got everything like really cranked. Let me see if I only have one more. Yeah, I can't crank it up no more, man. I'm running through a PA at like 10,000 watts of power. So I don't know why it's not loud. It's showing up okay on the, if I talk real close, then it's going to be like making some weird sounds. All right, some truly mad scientists have taught bees to recognize and understand numbers. Whether it's 180,000 bees that were on the roof of Notre Dame and survived the fire, or the Spanish couple who discovered that buzzing they've been hearing for months was a hive of 80,000 bees hidden in their bedroom walls, or I remember all that. All right, where does it say? So a French-Australian team has taught bees to understand zero and basic math. So what are these? Are these like, you know, nano bees or what? Anyway, we're running out of time. We got to get into other stuff. We'll figure that one out later. Another stupid thing. The Pentagon is defying Donald Trump to protect its bases from climate change. They're going to be pushing this climate change after all these floods, but this is definitely a crazy photo right here. This shows you just how bad it's flooded up here in Nebraska. So here's the normal river, and this is what it looks like now. And you've seen all the on-the-ground footage I've had. Here's the Air Force. But yet you still see the AWAC planes flying around. Every time I go up there, they're up in the air. See, and they just blame it all on climate change. What about the aircraft pollution? What about the planes creating the clouds? What about them trapping the heat in and bouncing out the solar radiation? We're going to be getting hit with rain here pretty soon. They got so much money, but yet they want more money. The war machine. Oh, and the Weather Channel changed their name for a few days. They're called the Water Channel. And I didn't get to look at any of this stuff. I think I'll maybe save this stuff till I can read it, because it's probably all junk anyway. Alright, so YouTube, man, there's going to be another purge. So YouTube's attacking a bunch of people that don't like the way you think. That's why everybody needs to subscribe to the other platforms, the D Live, the Twitch, all the ones down in the description. So they're doing another review on their policies. This apparently went in effect today, and they're saying they're going to remove hateful and supremacist content. But that just means they can pretty much get rid of anything they want if they don't agree with it. Remember when YouTube come out, a place to express yourself? Well, now it's illegal to express yourself. So today they're taking another step in the hate speech policy, specifically prohibiting videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination, segregation, exclusion based on qualities like age, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status. So that, let's see, where is that? You know, for example, videos that promote, glorify Nazi ideology. What about all the other ideologies? So I mean everything? So they're going to reducing borderline content and raising up authoritative voices. So anyway, they're going to go after way more of us here on YouTube. They can screw off. Alright, let's jump into some maps. Take a look at this. It looks like they used the Canadian model. It's pretty much went in the exact same path as the Canadian model. Got a few thunderstorms. Looked like we did have a tornado warning at one time up there in West Virginia. Let's see where we're at right now. Yeah, I had a couple little tornado warnings still. And then as of right now, nothing. But look at this in the black. Oh, we had a couple tornado warnings there in Louisiana here, just not very long ago here. Let's look at this. That was at 1:31 UTC time. I guess what I could do is bring up the map that we can tell what's going on here. Let me get to the dual next threads. I don't know why they don't put all these options on this one page. They just want to make it tougher and tougher. So let me just click this. So yeah, we had a tornado. Let's check this out. So this was in central Cameron Parish in southwestern Louisiana around 8:31 Central Time, so about an hour and a half ago. Alright, let's go ahead and stop that. So we'll check this once in a while, make sure nothing, everything else, severe thunderstorm, Texas, flash flood, Indiana, Los Angeles, Lake Charles, Louisiana. Alright, Let me get the watches and warnings off here. But yeah, that's definitely almost off the chart. We need to go see what kind of rain we're looking at right there. So let me get a couple things loaded here, and then we'll come back. Yeah, they hate the truth. They hate us. You know, but we got other platforms, and you know, until they take them all down, we'll still be able to communicate. Until they take the grid down. So, all right, let's just take this up. Probably gonna have to let that load too. I guess we'll take a quick look at the worldview map. So the ships are not standing out right now. Let me go ahead and put the layer on here. Let's add the 3.7 and see if they're still out here. So where did they go? So, oh wow, there's some way over here. Look, they're way over there. How'd they get from right off the coast of California all the way out here? Man, they went a long ways overnight. So as of right now, I cannot see any bunker fuel being deployed off the coast. But way over here in the Pacific, on the other, right at the time zone change. Right at the daytime. Look, here's a couple right here, and then you got the rest of them are all right in here. So it looks like they're getting ready. They're spraying in and around the next low pressure system. So we're going to have to definitely watch that over the next couple days and see if they follow this system. So it looks like Alaska's getting sprayed. Let's let that load. We'll just try to go through this. So yeah, we got aerosols being deployed over Alaska. I don't even have the place labels on here. We'll see where we're actually at. Could be. Stream seems to be holding up all right while I'm loading this stuff up. So we go ahead and get that on there. So yeah, we got aerosols being deployed over Alaska, and actually a big hunk of Alaska. And they're spraying out here in the Bering Strait. So they're trying to bring down a little bit more of this cold air. Look, they're spraying all the way up in the Arctic Circle. They're spraying up in no man's land. So that's, you know, part of the reason they got these ships out here. And then the aircraft up here trying to get that cooler air to blow on down so they can fabricate some more weather. Firestorms. Some aerosols right there off the coast of British Columbia. Now we seen yesterday Washington on up into Canada was getting hammered with chemtrails. Then we also seen the fire. Let me see if I can back this up a day, see if it'll load. Yeah, so yesterday, here was the fire, if that'll clean up a little bit, and then we can see all the aerosols. Hey, no problem there, Linda. We got to do it, man. It's up to us. They're not going to help us. This is all on us. Huge spraying operation over Vancouver. This was yesterday. And you can see there's tons of aerosols being deployed before the fire started. And now look, they pulled the weather system up exactly what we said. They were going to bend the atmospheric river down. It was going to come in right here, and that's exactly where it is. Aerosols. We'll bring the mimic map up to see what's going on with it. Got a few straggler aerosols down here off the, straight out from well, between, let me zoom in here, see if it'll give me some. Yeah, here's another one up here. So spraying over the, oh, here's a bunch right here. It's just not loaded all the way. Yeah, they're cross spraying the microwave clouds. See, these clouds are being hit with the frequencies. That's why they look so strange. And also trails. Wow, it actually looks like Las Vegas is clear right now. Idaho looks pretty clear. Montana, you got a few little like chem orbs is what I call them. So we actually have some states that are pretty clear today. A few going on in New Mexico. Kansas is getting sprayed. If we can get this to load up a little better. So Missouri, we're getting hammered. Let me back this out. All out ahead of these storms we seen yesterday. This is where they started the aerosols here off Florida. So this thing's going to occur probably right around to Florida. Let's look and just see if the chemtrails, it's heading the same way as the sprays were sprayed. You back that up. Yep, so pretty much right where all the trails were sprayed yesterday, that's where the rain is heading. Just gonna kind of fly through this a little bit to see if I see anything just crazy going on. Ooh, we got a little system down there. That's that one that I thought might turn into a hurricane. And it still might. And look, that's exactly where we said in the 16-day forecast. It's still there on the 15th. We called out the 13th, 14th, and 15th. And now it's showing it's going to hit the exact spot on the 15th. And we're looking at 24 inches of rain with this. We'll check the Canadian model too. Yeah, see, it drops down. Ooh, it kind of bounces around right there now. So this could be something to watch, definitely. And the crazy thing is this was 2 weeks ago that we spotted this. And now it's showing it kind of banging around there. So Florida, you might be in the crosshairs of some heavy duty rain. Like when it's off the coast, it's showing up into the 24-inch amounts of rain. Here, we'll check the total precipitation. We'll see what it's going to show us, see where the target zones are. Ah, there's the target zone for damn sure. So why they've been burning out Florida and Georgia and all them places? Remember they had the high pressure system parked there. It was parked there just a little bit longer. That one development would have went across Mexico and come up into the Gulf there. But look, you guys are the target now. And you're definitely up into the 20-inch rain amounts right there on the coast. 14 to 16 for sure. 12 to 16 inches of rain. It's showing 24 inches of rain there off the coast, right at the Missouri, Iowa border, and still over here, North Dakota, or Nebraska, Kansas border, then all up through the mountains. Oregon and Washington, you're getting some rain that should put out the fires. Look, maybe they're gonna start drying out California. They're gonna start to melt the snow and try to fill the dams back up. Let's check the temperatures. So let's see where if they're gonna melt the mountains in California here over the next few days. Yeah, we'll probably pick up more spraying over here. I haven't clicked all the layers. So yeah, there they are right there. I can see the spraying. Santa Rosa, super thick trails. Here's all the heavy trails between San Mato, I don't know how to pronounce that, all the way up. So you got a huge spraying. Let's check the layers, because that'll that'll show some of your spraying. And then when we go into the real-time satellite feed, we're going to be able to show them doing it. Yeah, definitely. If we can get it to load. Yeah, so right over the Paradise area, Sacramento, heavy aerosols. So we're just showing you, we're confirming the chat. What's all this red stuff down here? Is some kind of algae bloom or what? So, oh wow, they got heavy spraying going on. Yeah, see, you got to check all these layers, because they take these at different times. And it's a matter of catching them in the act, you know, right time they took the picture to the... But that's why we go over and we use the Go 17, because that shows it pretty much in real time. We got a fire up here by Mount Shasta. There's a fire right there. So anybody out there in the upper California know about these fires? Already hitting 100 in Redding? Yeah, I don't doubt it. Oh wow, look at the heat up here. Look at the heat up in Canada. That's not from the fire, that's because they pulled it up there. See, they're changing the weather patterns, they're affecting the weather patterns, they're steering it all, man. Can't believe this ain't loaded yet. Maybe I can make it load a little quicker. Let's get a dog barking in here too to make it even better. Oh yeah, you're definitely getting blasted with the heat. So California, you're getting blasted with the heat while it's really cold down in New Mexico, Oklahoma. So this is up about 850 HPAs. I think that's about 4,000 feet or something like that. 4,700 feet up. These are the temperature anomalies. So wow, look at that heat in the upper northwest. It's like the desert heat up there. And what's that? What's that mean right there? What the heck? So somehow you're going from extreme heat, and then on June 14th, all of a sudden you're going to have pockets of freezing cold. So I don't know what that's about. It's like a cluster bomb of cold air right there. That's pretty weird. All right. I think we're done with this. Let's go ahead and check. We got some new warnings out, new thunderstorms coming out of San Anglio, Texas, and Norman, Oklahoma. All right, let's check the real-time spraying here. We'll enable this so we can see it a little better. Now we're going to be able to see the aerosols. Look at the aerosol attack over there. Wow. Washington got hammered. California's getting hammered. They're spraying down here into the storm. So heavy aerosols all out ahead of this. Out here in the Atlantic, look at them heavy trails, man. They were blasting some super thick ones. Look at that. All right, let's zoom in on a couple of these because them are pretty bad. So we'll see how this one here comes in. Look at that. They're spraying high, spraying low. Nighttime spraying. So it starts off just, with a little bit of segmented spraying. And then they start the sky riding. We gotta wait for that to load. So if none of these aircraft were up here, there would be no clouds. There would be no rain. And if they weren't steering the atmospheric river. See, these are all targeted. They turn them off, turn them on. That's right where that fire is. We should be able to pick that fire up. I think that fire is like right in there. Oh, that's the puff of the fire right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. So look how thick some of these trails turn. So he was on, turned it off, turned it on, turned it off, and then two planes or drones laid the super thick ones, and then they turn into the clouds, the cirrus clouds. Next thing you know, you got a monsoon. So definitely caught in the act right here. I mean, this is targeted spraying. This is not water vapor. I don't care what they say. They're lying. I wanted to let's go ahead and check the mimic real quick. We'll come back to this just to see if we have anything that we can go along with that aerosol deployment. No active storms. It probably is. Let's go ahead and check the mimic. This is what they're steering. This is what's causing the floods. This is what's causing the floods in Iran and down in Australia, London. This is what they steer. So look, they're hitting this, and that's right where the ships are, guys. Look, they're hitting that thing. And look, it's exactly where I said it would be. They steered it straight into the west coast. This thing should be curving up. See, like these are curving up. All these are curving around. This should curve up into the Aleutian Island chain. That's where it has gone for the last 5 years. This thing here, look on the equator how everything is supposed to be traveling from east to west. But for some reason, the last 3-4 months, they're pulling it straight up in the Gulf of Mexico, right up the edge of Texas. This is not a normal flow path of the atmospheric river. These are the rivers of the sky. So just like they dam up the rivers on the ground and make them flow where they want, they're doing the same damn thing up here in the sky. At least since the 90s. Probably before then. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish looking at the aerosols in the US here. And up in Canada. Why is this thing? I thought I had this, at least one layer was loaded pretty good. So we've seen the aerosols over Missouri. Tennessee is getting hammered. And then all up off here, off the coast. New Jersey, New York, Boston's getting smacked down. Massachusetts, Connecticut, all getting smacked down. So let's go try to confirm it. Let's go pick a different spot here. We make it regional sections so I can see a little better here. So this is all fake clouds right there. All this is fake. No, we're not the crazy ones. The ones that don't pay attention to this, that don't watch the skies, the deniers, the climate change agenda people. Them are the ones that are crazy, not us. Thanks out there, Murphy. B Ninja. Nope. They've took control of the weather, man. They have a short time to control it. Tons of aerosols there, right on the Missouri border with Arkansas. All this is man-made synthetic crap. You can just tell by the color. I mean, super heavy. X is up in the sky. Oh, I know. We needed to look at the west to see the ships if we can find them. We have to do like a global west side. Because they're up there. They're right over there affecting that system. Let's try the full disk. We've never done that. So we hit play, see where the aerosols are. We got like a skull in the clouds out there, more sky demons. Alright, let's put this on the microphysics. That's not really showing us a whole lot right there. Yeah, they're all the dark side, man. It's sitting just evil people, man. There's evil entities along with this, so anyway, we gotta wait for that to load. Anyway, thanks everybody. We'll let this load. Let me shout some stuff out. Yeah, we got weather coming in here. Significant weather until 11 p.m. But welcome in everybody here on YouTube. Nobody got Don 817, Darlene St. James, Sandra, Unseen Faith, Holly, user 864011, Don Morning, Little Wing, Elish, St. James, Rhonda Long, Captain Tom. What's up, Captain Tom? Kinley, Cricky Doodle Daddy, Tammy, Mad Jeeper, Elizabeth Hodpodge, Nevada Geologist, James Wood, Freedom Fighter, Lake Almer, Watchdog, Tammy B, Aaron James, Trucks and Stuff. What's up? Sister Gold Hair C, Matt Cat, Sandra, Tammy, Agenda 21, Truth, Janelle, Truth Seeker, Plays in the Dirt, Linda, Sterling, Rhonda Long, Ed Whiteson, Brandon J, Save Center, Funky Blue, LM, Tornado Skywarn, Ruth Plant, Trinity, Lee, Delaney, Sandra Sutton, Serenity, Lynn, Drawing. I don't have Facebook up. I don't have Twitch up. I don't have D-Live up right now. Hey, but before I go, I will go over to D-Live and give away the treasure chest. So if you're over on D-Live, we'll hook you up with some Linos. So I'm trying to see if these ship tracks. Yeah, I know I missed a lot of guys out there. 700 and some odd people out there just on YouTube. Much love out there. Thanks for joining us. It's not easy getting on here every night. Like, man, it's hard, but it's got to be done. Somebody's got to document this stuff. So they're just barely showing up, but they did show up. Hey, thanks, sir, Funky. All right, so I'm going to play a clip of something. I think Never Lose Truth played this the other day. But I'm going to play a clip for something. I'm going to jump over on the D Live and give away some treasure chests. Then I'll jump back over here once I get that gave away. And we will jump into the exit stuff. So here, let me play this thing if I can find it here. I may not hit the right scene, so let's just see.
A bank of cumulus clouds, a warm August afternoon.
For this cloud, it looks like it's sitting right over Combination, the old Combination.
This plane, operating from a weather research base in Montana, is about to perform an experiment on a cloud.
The only one of any consequence around. Its shadow is just now, looks like its shadow is over Site 5.
It used to be a shrewd observation that everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. It's no longer true.
8-3 Charlie, Skyfire. The cloud appears to be over the old town of Combination.
The plane is spreading a trail of invisible chemical smoke, billions of tiny particles of silver iodide produced by the burners under the wings. Air currents will sweep the particles up into a cloud, where, if conditions are right, they will trigger the transformation of minute water droplets into crystals of ice. In the dry air of this afternoon, with a cloud as small as this one, the crystals are blown away by the wind like dust before a broom. The insubstantial pageant of the sky fades into thin air. We have learned a great deal about the atmosphere we live in. The camera, speeding up the movement in the sky above, reveals restless forces. Instruments tell us of jet streams of air, fierce winds circling the globe far above the clouds we see. We live at the bottom of a turbulent ocean of air, scores of miles deep. And what we see from below is just a small part of an atmosphere which is powered and driven into complex movement by the energies of the nearest star, 93 million miles away, the sun. Streaming out from the hub of the solar system are many different kinds of energies. Sometimes, when there are solar storms, its own gaseous substance is ejected into space as clouds of particles. And always, steadily, the sun pours forth light, heat, ultraviolet rays, radio waves. Almost all these forms of energy affect the atmosphere of our distant Earth. When clouds of solar particles stream toward our planet, some of them are caught in its magnetic field and form enormous nebulous envelopes, detectable only by instrument probes far out in space. Sometimes these particles are pulled in by the Earth's magnetic poles and meet with the tenuous topmost layers of the atmosphere, making it glow with the flickering light of the auroras we occasionally see 100 miles above us. below the auroras, the Earth's thickening atmosphere becomes a shield under which human life can flourish. In this cushion of air, every day hundreds of tons of meteoric debris burn up by friction before reaching the Earth. And if we dropped from this altitude in a long arc down toward the Earth and had special powers of sight, we could see many different layers within our atmosphere protecting us from the harmful electromagnetic radiation of the sun. Layers that filter out the longer ultraviolet rays, that filter out X-rays, a layer of ozone, without which enough short-wave ultraviolet radiation would reach the Earth to destroy almost all life. Gradually, as we near the Earth's surface, the light from the sun is scattered by denser air and fine dust, turning blue the sky above us. Of all the energy the atmosphere receives from the sun on a clear day, about 2/3 gets through to shine on the lands and seas of Earth. The Earth, in turn, heats the air, and in heating it, stirs it into the tiny eddies and global patterns we call the weather. All creatures in time have learned to adapt somehow to the Earth's enormous range of heat and cold and wet and dry. Through clothing and shelter, we make our compromises with the weather, not always with success. It's not surprising that when humans meet, the first thing they talk about is the weather. Joy of a crisp and sparkling winter day. The inconvenience it sometimes causes us. Some remember catastrophes of weather and climate. The drought and winds in the 30s that turned parts of America into a dust bowl. Some have felt terror before an onrushing tornado. Many have cringed before the onslaught of a hurricane. This airplane is heading toward a hurricane. Its crew of weather technicians are members of the Hurricane Hunter Squadron of the U.S. Navy. Why should men fly into a hurricane? They go basically to measure its position and size, its pressures and winds, to relay back information that will enable weather forecasters to give accurate warnings. For the most immediate function of meteorology is to predict, to tell us tomorrow will be a lovely day for a picnic, to give advice that will save $1 million crop, to broadcast a warning that will save 1,000 lives. On the radar screen, the coming hurricane is seen as a twisting spiral driven by ferocious winds. Their mission, to break through the core of the storm to its center, the eye.
Okay, Steve, it looks like it's about 18 miles in diameter. The tops go up to 47,000. We're gonna have to punch right on through. I have no holes on the radar. Roger.
The planes are sometimes structurally damaged during their missions. To date, only one crew has been lost.
Priority, Navy 6, in the eye at 1545 Zulu, position 1531 north, 5140 west, over.
The eye, a deceptively calm funnel of hot, dry air, wheeling clouds. Where will the storm go from here? To predict, the meteorologist must understand the processes and patterns in the atmosphere. Photographs taken by a satellite camera traveling 100 miles above the sea reveal the total pattern. Hurricane Debbie coming into view below, off the coast of Florida. But a great hurricane is only a small part of the constantly changing patterns formed by enormous energies in interplay in the atmosphere. After passing the outer rim of the hurricane, only a few minutes by space camera, moist tropical air moving over a vast, cool ocean current is producing a solid white bank of cloud and fog. It extends all the way to the coast of Africa, and then clear skies over Morocco. At ground level, sizzling heat. Atmospheric scientists are gaining a more precise understanding of the causes of these phenomena. Here, for example, they are artificially creating global weather patterns for study. What they call familiarly the dishpan is a flattened model of the northern hemisphere. Ice is placed in the center core to simulate the pole. The heated outer rim is the equator. When dye is dropped into the water between and the pan rotated as our Earth rotates, patterns emerge. These patterns are like the vast currents in the Earth's atmosphere, which carry heat from the equator toward the poles and bring back cool air toward the equator. Without this constant heat exchange, the tropics would become unbearably hot, the polar regions unendurably cold. These currents moving between hot and cold form lobes, like the petals on a flower. And if we look at the rotating pan from above, through a camera turning at the same rate, we see a shape astonishingly like the patterns on a weather map of the northern hemisphere. It is possible to make another kind of model of global circulation.
So we take the kinematics of the motion completely into account, but between two zonal walls.
At the U.S. Weather Bureau in Washington and elsewhere, scientists are developing mathematical analyses of the weather.
Where this is the heat flux through the mean meridional circulation.
The equations are put in a form that can be handled by a computer. Digesting millions of bits of weather information from all over the hemisphere, Point Barrow, Halifax, Baghdad, Manila, the computer calculates a prediction. mathematical prediction of weather is now routine. The contours printed out by the computer are translated into the familiar wavy lines and bulges we see in the daily weather map. As men have come to a deeper understanding of the forces of the atmosphere, it was inevitable that some should dream of changing it. An infinitesimal bit of the atmosphere in one experiment, a few thousand cubic feet of condensed vapor from a geyser in Yellowstone Park. Temperature 20 below zero. They have suspended in the geyser cloud a balloon supporting a string impregnated with a special explosive. The countless droplets of moisture have been transformed into minute, glittering ice crystals. On this morning, they have created a halo around the sun. Investigating the detailed nature of such processes is the prelude to the possible control of some of the harmful aspects of the weather. The time may soon come when men will be able to say, yesterday we prevented a hailstorm. Today we stopped the lightning. By means of cloud seeding, atmospheric scientists are trying to find out if rain can be brought on prematurely in the clouds of a threatening thunderstorm. If it can, it might also be possible to reduce the destructive lightning discharges at the height of the storm.
Would you stay on the field, please? Give us a field reading. We have personnel wandering around outside. Over.
The field is now approaching 100 volts per centimeter. All personnel should be warned to be under the lightning protection system from now on for the storm. Over.
Roger. Personnel coming inside under protection. Over.
Must be getting in closer. We're starting to get some appreciable strikes. There was a good one.
Right at 285 feet. Ground discharge observed asthma 243 degrees. This side of Black Pine Ridge. Flare up at base. Start that one, please.
Skyfire aircraft 83 Charlie. This is. You know, if I were you, I think I would have gone down. Over.
Records are kept of the frequency and types of lightning strokes, of seeded and unseeded storms. Statistical analysis will tell if any significant modification has taken place.
89, that was a big one.
Record, this is control. We need to make an adjustment on our RHI video. Can you give us a field reading, please? Over.
Field reading is now 30 volts per centimeter. Rising. Is rising and safe for limited activity in the area. Okay, Bill, go ahead.
Roger, limited activity. He's going out to adjust now.
Control, field is rising very rapidly, approaching 100 volts per centimeter. Suggest all personnel be under cover. Over.
Hurry up, Bill. He's building again. Roger, he's on his way back in. Here he is.
Visual strike at coordinates 335. Very close to site 1. Over.
Roger, we felt it.
Oh, that last one's a big one.
Snow and ice research in the Antarctic, air pollution work in England, arid climate research in Africa. The atmosphere is being studied all over the world, and we are gradually learning the true nature of the forces which surround us. As men continue to explore space, they may find no treasure anywhere like their own earthly environment, their atmosphere, their earthly weather, or a more beautiful, complex, and fascinating interplay of natural phenomena.
All right, guys, that was called Above the Horizon. Just goes to show you how long they have been modifying the weather. Actually, it started back in the 1800s. But yeah, that's a pretty early film of them modifying the weather. Let's check YouTube over here. Much love out there, everybody out there on the Facebook and the Twitch and all that stuff. Now we can hit our song called Rise. We're going to rise up soon. Anyway, guys, much love. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, the sound, that's pretty old stuff there. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Let's rise. Be safe out there.